Now it's very important to make sure you've edited the baby image first, so if you haven't done that, please open up the baby image and edit. This guitar background works best for babies shot on a cream, a medium to light toned background, and in the tushy up pose, or in a pose that will allow them to pose nicely on the guitar here. For more information about shooting digitals, please visit the LSP Actions website. Go on the digitals section and you can see the digital background Photoshop actions. They come up like this, and they also come with a PDF shooting guide which tells you everything you need to know when shooting for digital backgrounds. So you'll see here you have the base layer, you have a fur layer if you shot your baby on brown fluff or any colour fluff, because you can change the colour of that, and a layer called Your Baby here. For those of you experienced in using the LSP digitals, this will all look very familiar to you. So you need to click on this layer here first, Your Baby here. If you can't see your layers, come up to Window and choose Layers to make sure they're visible. You can add your baby in manually by coming up to File, Place Embedded. I recommend this rather than copying and pasting because it keeps the full resolution of the baby image even if you shrink it down. Because I'm using the actions, these actions do not come with this freebie, but you can get these on the LSP website. I'm going to use the Add Baby option here. So locate the baby image on your computer and resize to fit the digital. Because I'm using the actions, it's going to partly resize and make it transparent for me. So when you're happy roughly with the position of baby, hit enter. The actions will play out and add a black layer mask. If you're doing this manually, you're going to come down here to the layer mask option and click this, and it will add a white layer mask to your newborn. And you can use a black brush to paint off around the edges. Because I've got a black layer mask on, I can use a white brush to reveal, like this. I find this easier. And you can replicate this by turning the layer mask black if you need to. So you can just paint your baby in here. You can switch between a black and a white brush by hitting X on your keyboard. So I'm going to zoom in close, grab a black brush, nice and hard, and use this to cut away around the edge of baby, blend them in. Because I'm on Photoshop Creative Cloud, I'm going to click on here and choose the Select Subject option. If you can't see Select Subject, hit W on your keyboard first. That will bring up your quick select wand. You can tidy up any areas and make the selection. And this will allow you to paint in baby using a white brush. You can invert the selection and use a black brush to hide the baby. If you're new to using digital backgrounds, I recommend finding out a little bit more information on YouTube about the best practices, or again you can go to the LSP website and download the guide and the actions, and that comes also with another digital you can practice with too, the LSP Love Bowl. I'm just adding that little bit of ear in. If you have a tricky hair cutout, you can go onto Select and Mask and use the Refine Edge option to help you cut the hair out there. I'm going to use a very low, soft white brush here. I'm going to take that flow right down, change to white, and because this baby was shot in cream, I can bring a little bit of that original blanket back in here and retain some of those original shadows, which means I don't have to paint any artificial shadows in, which is a big plus when editing digitals like this. So when you're happy with the general cutout, I recommend zooming in and just double checking everything. I'm sorry if you can hear a baby crying in the background. I'm not sure if the mic is picking that up or not, but that's my my little boy twin. He gets quite grumpy in the evening. He's in there with his dad at the moment. Don't worry, he's not on his own. So make sure you refine the selection, make sure there's nowhere sticking out obvious that looks odd or anything like that, that you've got no halo around the baby or anything weird going on. If you've managed to paint some of the original shadows in, then that's great, but if not, don't worry, you can come down here, click the base layer, come down the bottom this little circle, Click this. This gives you some adjustment options. You can choose levels or curves. I like levels for creating shadows. Bring the middle slider down, and if you need to, you can also bring the bottom right slider in a little too, and the top left, just to darken everything down. Control or Command I to invert, and you can use a white brush to use this to paint some shadows in under the baby if you need to, like this. You can click on the baby layer, come down again, create another levels or curves layer, right click this one and choose create clipping mask, and that means it will only affect the baby layer, nothing else. And you can darken the baby down using the same techniques, Control or Command I to invert that mask. And if I'm going too fast for you, you can learn a lot about editing digitals on the LSP Actions website and in the LSP Facebook group, and use this to add some darkness to baby. But because I'm using the actions, I'm going to go ahead and delete these. I'm going to play the next step, which is add the main baby editing layers, and that will do all of this for me, plus it will give me lots more options too to really blend that baby to the digital and to blend the digital to baby. Let me just pull this out and show you. So you see underneath now it has created gentle shadows and heavy shadows underneath the baby. Shadows over the baby, darken the baby, lift and lighten contrast, and warm. So for example, I've clicked on contrast, grab a brush, set to white. You can paint a little bit of this on if you need to. You can warm baby up. I don't need to warm this baby up. Lift and lighten. You can brighten any areas that need it if anywhere looks a bit dark. And again, you can darken the baby down if anywhere looks too bright. Lots of options here. You can also add some shadowing over the baby if you need to. It would mimic the natural shadows of the digital, and so on. Let's see before and after there. And at any point you can click down here and you can add your own adjustment layers. For example, brightening that baby up a little bit. Invert and just paint that on with a white brush. If you're lost at any point in this and you're new to digitals, don't worry, you can come and join the LSP Actions Facebook group and chat live to me and others on there who use digital backgrounds. And you can also check out the LSP Digital Background Applicator Actions on the LSP website. That will really help you apply baby. They set all these layers up for you. And you can click on the group at any time and you can resize and change the baby. They are there as a smart object, so everything is editable right up until the last moment. And when you're ready to save, you can come up here, File, Save As, save it as a PSD file for yourself if you want to go back and edit the layers, save it as a JPEG for your clients, and you can export, save for web, choose JPEG, and make it smaller for Facebook and social. Resize that to 2048 pics on the long edge. I hope you love it, and I'm Lauren at LSP Actions. Thanks for watching.